the criticism really based against the police there is that they failed to keep an open mind from the very start, believing that she fell into the river. How badly has that decision compromised the entire inquiry, do you think?
I'm not sure that they haven't kept an open mind. They've said throughout they've been pursuing other lines of inquiry, and that's essential to any case like this. The normal procedure would be to have a working hypothesis based on what is the most likely thing to have happened. And unfortunately, in this case, there's a very high-profile search activity which focuses the minds on that's going on. But in the background, I'm quite confident that a lot of activity will have been taking place, looking at other options, looking at what else might have happened, what other hypotheses can be developed to follow other lines of inquiry.
OK, and we were hearing yesterday from our reporters in the area just of how upset the locals are about this private information being put out in the public domain, and the Staffordshire Police Force have referred themselves to the Complaints Commission. Where do you think that will go? Do you think they'll be reprimanded, or is it just like a token PR move as the others have been before?
No, it's something is to breach someone's personal privacy is an issue and needs to be looked at carefully to make sure that appropriate action is taken in respect of that. It's most unusual, but seems to have been driven by the huge amount of speculation on media and social media, which has been unprecedented. But unfortunately, it's actually created a lot more adverse discussion. It certainly needs to be looked at and appropriate steps taken to make sure that it was either right or it is corrected.
Charles, you are a missing persons expert. Are there any signs you're aware of that would suggest to you that she is indeed just a missing person?
I think we need to keep our mind open to all options. I mean, so the river was the most important thing to check out. That's been thoroughly searched with no outcome and no indication that she's there. So, yes, I mean, it's entirely possible. I mean, nobody goes missing without a reason, and understanding what's going on in someone's life is really, really important, and all lines of action need to be followed. It may be that she just took the decision to go off, but it's not that easy to go off grid in today's world.
Yeah, and Charlie, we've been speaking to people throughout the week here on GB News who are saying that the disclosure of the alcohol reference and her positioning now as high risk within that category places them much more likely in the category of self-harm. So it is starting to look more likely. Of course, we can't speculate, but it looks more likely now that we may see a more painful outcome to this, doesn't it?
Well, we need to continue to look at all options, and we must think about the family in this situation and the dreadful distress they've been going through. Continue to look at all options, not to get diverted or focused on too many of the sort of going down rabbit holes and looking at specific things. Keep an open mind, look at all the possible options, follow the investigation, look for the information, and hopefully we'll come to a satisfactory conclusion.
Charles, I think everyone accepts now that the crime scene, if that is indeed what it is, has been compromised. There are no clues, no solutions. Where can the police go from here with their inquiry to try and get to a solution?
Not being part of the investigation, it's a little difficult to know exactly what they know and what they don't know and what lines of inquiry are open, but it's continuing to keep it in the public domain, look at other options for search and investigation, use the wide range of technical resources and contacts to try to find where she might be.
But as you alluded to there, in this day and age, when you use cards and cash points, or you tap in or use your phone, it's very easy to trace people, and the flip side of that must be very, very hard to actually disappear from the grid altogether. And so all of it starts to feel, doesn't it, that it's not looking great.
Yes, unfortunately so. The longer these things go on, the harder it is for someone to survive without any help or support. So, yes, unfortunately, we have to look at that. But again, it mustn't steer us in a particular direction. We need to keep on looking and hoping and trying to find her.